Hey guys, what's going on? It's Algo here. Checking in with you guys to talk about a few things that have been on my mind, or the things that I've seen concerning the markets and everything around it. I guess, so to say. First things first, I'd like to make an apology. There's a few weeks ago, almost like a month ago, I think. I made a poll, and I was supposed to be putting out this video that I didn't get to put out due to the fact that I had a few people that were supposed to edit the video for me, but we couldn't come to a conclusion. And I really wanted to put out some good content on that concerning the functionalities of the markets, but I couldn't do it because me and these individuals were not able to come to an agreement. So it's not that it's an excuse. I will definitely be putting out those videos. So sorry about that. I will be getting around to that eventually. So first things first, I guess I can just straightly get into it. I guess looking at this Bitcoin price, I know a lot of people have been trying to figure out whether this has been the manipulative spike or the beginning of that manipulative spike that a lot of people have been looking for. Remember a few videos back in the I think maybe the second or third video or the third video I think I put out there. I told you guys there was a lot of funds pouring into Bitcoin. A lot of leverage funds, a lot of fund managers are starting to pour into the Bitcoin price, and that the Bitcoin price spread were now thin, and that it presented a lot of opportunity for them. A lot of funds, guys, they do believe that we're heading to 75,000. Now, I don't believe that we're heading to 75,000 right away. I do believe that we're heading lower. There's several reasons for that. One of the reasons is the Fed is they're still raising rates. They just recently bumped up the rates by 0.25 basis points. So that's not an environment for a bullish bullish Bitcoin, right? It doesn't present that environment, right? Rates would have to be low, or at a substantial low area in order for any type of assets or commodities or equities to actually rally. And we're not in that, right? The second thing is we had a situation that happened with the bond markets, right? We have the bond markets that are actually in a fully bearish diverted condition. Basically, the 10, 20, and the 30 year are basically getting ready to sell off. Now, some people might ask, what does that mean? When it comes to the bond markets, guys, cryptos and the bond markets are completely positively correlated. Why is that? Because every time money is injected into the economy or the printer turns on, the bond market goes up, right? The bond quotes, not the bond rates, but the bond quotes go up. Basically, the bond quotes is or the bond market, guys, for those who don't know, it's the underlying benchmark for all financial assets. This is where everything gets priced, right? This determines everything, usually. And so when this happened here, right, this happened back in November. I saw this happen in November. I didn't want to come out and just give or talk about the information. I wanted to see more data. And sure enough, 2 months later, that this move here, which happened in the 10, 20, and the 30 year bond, actually spilled over into Bitcoin. And now we're in a situation where we're in a bearish divergence where they're getting ready to dump all these bonds. Remember, guys, we spoke about, like I said, I think it was the second or the third video. I think it was the third video, yeah. That we're in a situation where China and Japan are dumping dollar-denominated debt. They're getting rid of the dollar. The dollar is under attack, basically, or heading towards their new utopia. They're not planning to have the dollar be the standard currency, right? The new currency will, in my opinion, be the Chinese yuan, but that's for another video. They're getting ready to dump. The biggest debt holders are dumping dollars. Now, if you haven't heard, the Saudis have agreed to do transactions or start to do transactions in yuan. So that completely kills the petrodollar. So as you can see here that the Japan's holding of U.S. treasuries, right, it fell by 42 billion, right? It fell to 42 billion, from 42 billion to 1.07 trillion in October, right? And same thing going on with China. China is also still dumping dollars, or debt denominated dollars, right? All U.S. Treasury bonds, they're getting rid of them. So guys, we have a situation here where Bitcoin is now in a situation, it's following the bond market, and now we have the 10-year, right? It has already manifested this bearish divergence, and we're still waiting for the 20 and the 30-year to follow suit. So guys, we're in a situation where the leveraged funds, right, the fund managers that are highly leveraged are, making big bets, and they're going to start being liquidated. Now, some people are asking also, where are we going to get all this Bitcoin to help everyone, or to feed everyone, or to give everyone can't get Bitcoins because there's not enough, or whatever. Well, guys, there's a lot of funds that are going to be liquidated. There's going to be a lot of Bitcoins out there for I believe there's going to be enough Bitcoins for everybody. Why? Because there's people out there, all right, that function off of a system called greed, right? A lot of people, a lot of funds, they forget, or they kind of they play the risk game, and they end up losing. So there's a lot of funds, guys, that will be liquidated. What am I looking for? I'm looking for these lows here to be taken out. Exactly where the fund managers entered, I'm looking for them to get their positions liquidated, right? So I'm looking for Bitcoin to come back down to the next level is around the 11,500 or the 10,000 mark. Now, what's very weird, guys, and it's been in my spirit as I was looking at this price. In my dream, I told you guys that I saw that Bitcoin went to 19,500, right? This area here, this turtle soup area, this area where liquidity was grabbed or taken out, this is a perfect area for Bitcoin to consolidate. This is a perfect level for Bitcoin to just consolidate before something major happens, right? So I can see Bitcoin bouncing around that level that I seen in my dream, right? But who knows? We'll see what happens. Do I believe Bitcoin's going any higher? I don't believe so. I don't believe that we're in a situation to see the manipulative spike that people are waiting for. I don't think it's time yet, for several reasons. Like I said, the rates have the Federal Reserve raised rates once again by 0.25 basis points. The bond markets are completely tanking, right? Remember I told you cryptos and bond markets are completely positively correlated, and we have a lot of leveraged funds that took this position here, and we have big asset managers that are betting against them, right? We have basically the Titans are at war right now, and they don't even a lot of people are not even aware of that. So that's the first thing, guys. That's the first thing. The second thing is I guess I can get right into this as well. We have the debt clock, right? The debt clock for the M2 money supply, right? This is all the money that's been printed, basically in existence. It's shrinking, right? Now, this was very, very funny to me. It wasn't really funny. It was just very it was very like, wow, it's in your face. Basically, they're shrinking. Okay, they're shrinking the money supply that actually propped up the markets. They're draining everything that they filled the tub with. Okay, so what I believe that's going on here, they're going to reset the whole financial system. We already know that's what they're doing, but this is one of the main ways that they're doing it. They're moving all this money into the blockchain. This is just my personal belief. This is based off of what I've researched and what I've come all the data that I've been able to come across. They're moving all this money into the blockchain. The money supply is now no longer appreciating, but is decreasing. At the same instance, we still have the U.S. national debt increasing, right? So what is this telling me here, guys? They're sending the U.S. dollar straight to hell. As I'm sorry that wasn't really proper language, but this is what that is. Okay, this is what that is. I do believe that we're in a situation here where the clock is now ticking. They're transferring all this money, and I don't know what is gonna happen when this hits zero. Mind you now, guys, right? The debt is still increasing, but the money supply is shrinking. We still have this, and like I said, I do not know how people, or some people are not really aware. We still have this $1 trillion or this $250 debt. Remember, I told you guys we had the $1 trillion debt that's due. This gray area here, this is the $1 trillion that we know of. This green area, this iceberg that's below it, this is the quadrillions that we don't know about, right? This is the amount of money that we don't know about. If this is 100 trillion, right, this gray dark area, what is this, right? This is insanity. And so there's many different ways to die in these markets. You just pick your poison, right? We have the bond markets, we have the FX swap markets, we have the derivatives, the euro dollar markets, which is basically dollars that are outside of the U.S. But they call it the euro markets. Highly leveraged positions that basically are we're waiting for them to collapse based off of too much leverage. They can when a position is leveraged, guys, which pretty sure you guys know about. When a position is leveraged and they're completely offsides or they cannot sustain that position, the position just closes. So there's a lot of money out there that is completely leveraged in U.S. dollars that cannot sustain the interest rate hikes that are going on right now. Right? They're getting ready to fold. They're getting ready to just close their positions. And when that happens, that's when the domino effect begins. Right? We do not know who. So this is the international debt held by foreign investors. Well, the U.S. debt that's held by foreign investors. They've been releasing. They've been dumping dollars, basically, guys. They've been dumping bonds, and this is a sharp inclination. See if I can zoom in. A sharp inclination of them just selling now. They're getting rid of bonds. They're getting rid of dollars. So, and at the same time, we hit our debt ceiling. So we have governments and central banks dumping U.S. Debt. At the same time, we are no longer printing, and we hit our debt ceiling. Right? You're not printing, and you can't pay your bills. Right? That doesn't end well. So, yeah, guys. I guess that is what I wanted to come to talk to you guys about. My personal opinion of what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a sensitive spot right now. I do believe that we're going to see movements coming in the next month or two. Because like I said, whatever happens in the bond market, it takes maybe a month or two to spill over into cryptos and equities, right? So I believe that we're going to see Bitcoins take a sharp turn pretty soon. The manipulative spike that we're looking for, I do not believe this is it, right? I believe that the movement that we're looking for is more aggressive and more robust. It's just completely ferocious, right? What we're looking for. Like I said, all this manipulative movement and draining and debt that's going to default, right? When the market says, hey, where's this money that you guys are supposed to give us or give me by this certain amount of time? It's not here. Oh, well, I have no choice. I got to go bear. I do believe that we're going to see that, but we're not here yet, right? So I do believe that, like I said, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to eventually come back down to around these levels here, and then eventually completely wipe out these individuals here and head lower, okay? And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, guys. It's the markets. The markets at the end of the day, they get the last say. And so I'm waiting to see what's going to transpire concerning the Bitcoin price. Last thing, guys, I guess the PWC, they came out with a report concerning hedge funds that are actually currently in Bitcoin. And I think around 300 crypto hedge funds are out there. All right. Majority of them, like I was telling you earlier, concerning the entities that are in Bitcoin, are highly levered. And so, like I said before, if people who are asking where are we going to get all these Bitcoins from? How is it going to be possible that everybody gets or everyone is able to pick up some Bitcoins? I think it's possible. Like I said, these hedge funds, these money managers, when they enter the markets, they go big. They go big or go home. This is what it is with them. And I believe that greed drives these institutions. And so you can see that a lot of these funds right? Based off of 2021 and 2020, based off with these crypto hedge funds, a lot of them have derivatives, which is basically leverage positions. Okay, so back in 2021, we had about 60% of funds that were levered, and then in 2020, prior to that, we had about 55%, close to 60% that were highly levered. So as the years went by, I do believe that this position has actually increased. Okay, so guys, that's just my take. Do your own research, look into it yourself. The biggest takeaway from today's video was just the M2 supply. It's shrinking, right? They're moving all this money, all the money that actually made the markets. This is the money that actually made Bitcoin. This is the supply. I'm sorry. This is the supply that actually made Bitcoin what it is today, right? This is what Bitcoin is propped up on. They're shrinking it. This is just a basic takeaway. Like I said, I want to explain things in a way that my grandma can explain, could understand it. This is the M2 supply that actually made Bitcoin and all the markets that you see now, right? It's shrinking. Okay, they're draining the bathtub. So, along with the bond market crisis, okay, with all these central banks selling U.S. debt, along with the FX swap quadrillion-dollar debt, really, it's not 100 trillion, it's really quadrillion-dollar debt, right? The derivative euro market, right? The housing market, all these things, right? It's based off of this. Now, could there be an event or one of these institutions just collapsing that sends my analysis to crap? It's a possibility. We never know what could take place, and these events that we're looking for could happen at any moment. So, yeah, guys, that'll be all. God bless, and I'll go out here.